For this week's challenge, we're going to do introduction to bending cues at the standstill. Okay, how can we prepare our horses to be better mounts when under saddle? We can start with some stretching in the standstill. The very first task would be, we do not want the neck to be braced in through here. This is super thick. This is his natural posture. Being a Morgan, he's very high-headed. However, we want this turned off and him to start using these muscles, and then that'll help open up to him to start lifting his back. Important in the beginning of the standstill exercises is to at least make the front feet somewhat close together. And we can do that if we have a really good backup cue. Okay, and you got to go forward cue. You can line up your horse to put that back there. Okay, even if they're not completely square, it's okay. The biggest thing is he's not standing like this, because then his shoulders are going to be uneven. Okay, so for me, I'm a little bit more picky because my horse is a little more advanced. You need to move this foot, sweetie. This one, good. This one, good. Good boy. Okay. And he'll square up because he's just so used to it. He'll square all four, and he's very crooked in this foot. And I don't know if you can see it from that camera angle, but it's quite challenging for him to actually stand with any width in the front end. Okay, good boy. All right, so the very first task is to at least get your horse to park relaxed. Can they stand still? Can you move around? Can you pet them? And they know their job to stand still. So the first standstill exercise is to have your horse be able to stay still. And you will notice he will dangle. He gets very relaxed doing this work, and he will drop. Unfortunately, it's what he does, and I can trot him around and make him put it away. But just don't look there if it bothers you. Okay, so now the very first task that I'm going to do, I've tested that he stands still. I got a basic square posture with the front end. I'm making a mental note of how does he usually stand. He's kind of leaning on the forehand. He's thick in the underneck. He's hollowing his back, standing like how Tucker does, lazy on the forehand. Okay, the very first task is I'm going to stand directly in front of my horse. Obviously, you only do this once you have a safe horse that parks for you nicely. I'm going to gently take the cavison, or if you have a halter, you can pull the front of the halter down, okay, 4 to 6 inches away, or you can hold the snap depending on what your horse will tolerate. Okay, and I'm going to pull it down and forward, and I'm going to point my whip here to say, don't you dare walk forward. What I would like him to do, good boy, is to lower his head and bring his chin forward. So we call it forward and down. Okay, so forward, the nose is forward, not this part, okay? Yes, good boy. Okay, so can we get at least in the very stage one of your standstill exercises, prepping your horse for bend, can we turn off the underneck, the fight-flight, vagus nervous system, and start getting a relaxed posture? Good boy. Okay, following the feel of my hand. The whip can tell, yeah, he doesn't need to go this low, but I'm just testing, can I do it, right? Every time I put my hand on the halter or the cavison, he should bring his nose down, ideally, and a little bit forward. Yes, good boy. And that way we're opening up the throat latch, which he's very good at closing. It's been a habit of his since he was young, and it's been very hard to work. I've done a lot of work on bringing your nose forward. Good boy. Okay, so this is part of stage one. Can you park your horse, and can you get them to put their head down? And obviously, very relaxed, very content. They find it quite a nice posture to be in. If you have a horse that's really if you have a horse that's really struggling with the head down, you can use a goodie. Okay, so I'm going to ask him with my cavison or my halter. If you're using a halter, I usually pull right here, and I'll pull down. And as I pull down, I'll pull this forward and then give him a goodie. Okay, and that helps them lick and chew and relax. Some horses do find this quite stressful if they have any tension in their poll. Highly on alert, fearful horse. Okay, so obviously then the next time he's really eager because he knows he got a goodie last time, right? He's very food driven. So again, let's just show him. Yeah, it's very nice, good boy. So that will help you with your head down. Obviously don't use a goodie continuously because then it's no longer a cue. It is just following your fingers, okay? But that can help you add a set. No, we're not doing that. Don't. And if they get pushy, no. Okay? No. Don't. Okay? Just because you got a goodie doesn't mean you need to be in my pocket. Okay? And that's all I do to shut that off. I'm like, no. You have to earn this. Okay? Next step, I will do that. That's a good boy. Okay. Next step will be, I'm going to do it from in front. Hopefully you can see it okay this time. So stage 1, can my horse park? You see what I mean? He's very close in the front end. I'm just going to back him up a couple of steps here. 1, 2. Whoa, good. So I timed my whoa when I felt that there was a good moment to ask. And then you can see his front feet are in a better posture than how he would normally stand. And how did I time that? I could just feel like it was stepping here. So I said, whoa, and he lined the other one up. Okay. So the next thing in stage 1, we got our forward down and we're in this position for our forward down. And the next part is can you get flexion or stelling left and right? And so I will stand in this position for that. I'm going to put my whip here just to warn him, don't you come forward. And I want him to bring his nose in. Good boy. So that's a right flexion. I'll just get out of the camera's way a little bit. And then can you bring your horse to here? And if you watch, I'll try to get out of the way again. You'll see his mane flip right there. And he's got it super spiky right now. He rubs it all out in the summer. And then watch that mane flip. Goes a little plink. So that's the ligament there. Flipping, good boy. Flipping. And that's what we want to see. Is very relaxed. Just opening this throat latch each way. It's the skull turning left and right that we want. So if your horse is sticky, so that's how it should look. A horse knows how to do it really well, and it's very relaxing. Okay, so he's doing some releases right there. I'll let him do that. Okay, come here, sweetie. So if your horse is really struggling with this, you can hold either side of your halter, hold down, cradle, and I'm going to take these fingers and push his lower jaw that way and his upper and the cavison towards me like this. And that's good. And then I'm pushing very gently his jaw out. So to do a good bend, he needs to go like this and like that. And a lot of times when you pick up the rein, they actually do this. So their outside ear gets lower if you're looking from above. So here, again, to get a really nice stelling, I push his lower jaw. You can also hold the jowl depending on the horse. That's good. And for him, I'm finding that the lower jaw works the best. Pushing his lower jaw, there's really nice. So he really opened up on that side, but the ears stayed level. Okay, so that is and then again, you'll see another release. So it feels nice, this work. Okay, so this is C1 in here, the atlas, and then C2, C3, and you're just getting them slowly. Some neck releases. It's really good for a warm up before we ride. Okay, and what this will end up becoming when you ride, you got your reins. Okay, and as I pick up, no, head down please, and the horse is in a nice posture. You just gently lift this inside rein, and no, it's assuming it's something else. We're going to start teaching it from the side eventually so that when I pick up on an inside rein, all that occurs is that correct flexion. Okay, thinking of the future. Okay, finishing up on the most basic level of getting your bend at the standstill work. Okay. Review really quickly. Horse is quiet at the standstill. Grab my whip again. And our horse is somewhat square in the front end. I'm not going to worry about the back end yet. The next stage is our forward down. So quick review. Forward down and forward of his nose. Don't you walk forward. Good boy. So that's a forward. And then we got our stelling. Okay. Our next piece is the bend. So there's a quadrant. I'm going to step here. I'm going to get stelling and then bend. So I'm in a good boy. So I'm going to be in that triangle. Call it a triangle. So I can point the whip here or I can point it back there depending on what I'm looking for. Okay. So forward down. Get my stelling. Step to the side. I'm going to point the wood. I'm going to actually reward him for that because he did that with like nothing on his cavison. So I've been teaching him that I want it at liberty, so that if I point right here with the whip, no, that's collection. Your head comes down here with just the whip. Yes, good. Okay, that makes sense. I'm hoping to get this 100%. I have been working on it at liberty with just my whip cue. That's bonus material. Okay, so then if I want to get the stelling and bending on the side, I would start in the middle. I'm going to get my stelling, flexion change, step to the side. I'm going to put my whip at his girth area to associate that this is a bending cue. Good, good. Nicely done. Good boy. He's hoping for more goodies. No, it's wonderful, but no. Okay, so you want to do this each way. You want to notice if there's stickier. He's not stickier either way. Good. And then neutral. Good. And bending posture. Good boy. Nice. And he rocked back. He doesn't need to. So that's your stage 1.